should be the summer freezing. Where you will find great coffee and even better writers. But in this cafe, you do not clap, you snap. Please practice now. Today you will hear some poems, some stories, and any other kinds of writing you can think of. First up is Joey Newville with The Angry Hunter. The Angry Hunter. There was a guy hunting, and he was sitting in his stand for hours, and he came across a deer, and it was a little deer, so he tried shooting it and wasted 3 or 4 bullets. The deer ended up running away. This happened a lot. He kept missing and wasting bullets. The deer just kept coming and going, and it kept getting bigger and bigger, so he tried a different gun, and that didn't help. He wondered what was wrong. He tried everything, and the same thing happened. He cleaned his barrel and started shooting at a target, and he nailed it every time. He thought today was his lucky day because a friend was coming along. They were in the stand for half an hour, and he finally saw a deer, and it was big. He got his sights lined up and was just about to pull the trigger, and he heard a boom, and his friend shot it. He was very angry and threw his gun out of the stand, and it hit a really big deer and knocked it out. He finally got his deer. Next is Zach Jepson with the bow and arrow.
My name is Scott. It means long tail of the fox. I'm a 12-year-old Ojibwe boy. I'm now living in our summer village. There are 19 families in our band. I live with my father, mother, 2 brothers, 3 sisters, and my grandfather. I'm looking forward to my spirit quest. It's one of the most important events in becoming a man. When I get back, I'll be a man. My family will have a big feast for me and invite other members of my family, my friends, and the chief of the tribe. I don't know what will happen on my spirit quest. I hope that my spirit guide is the deer because they are quick and wary. Chief chose my father to go on a buffalo hunt. There's 6 other men with him in the hunting party. The family does not know when he's going to be back. We are worried about him. When will he return? My grandfather is a great hunter. I'll be going on a hunting trip with him. He's big, tall, has a smooth face. He always has his bow and arrows with him in case he sees an animal. My bow and arrows are new. I made them this year because I outgrew my old one. I also want to hunt bigger game. I chose cedar for my true bow because it provides flexibility. If I feed him like the bow as thick as my first knuckle of my thumb. Pine is not a good choice since it breaks easily. I worked the notch at the end of the stick with a broken arrowhead by sawing back and forth, so I can string the bow. These animals sinew that came from the carcasses of animals to make the string. I took a piece of hide, wrapped it around the middle of the bow, and wet it so it would shrink tight. The leather would give me a good grip on my bow. To make my arrows, I pick up 5 straight willow branches that are as thick as my first finger. I carved a small notch in one end so the arrow can rest on the string. My uncle has been teaching me how to knap arrowheads. I flake the flint into an arrowhead. Mine are not as good as his, but I'm proud of them. The more I make, the better I will get. They do the work. I finish the arrow by cutting small feathers down the middle and tying it onto the arrow shaft. My grandfather and I were successful. We shot 3 ducks and 5 rabbits. When I got back, my father was there. But what happened to him? He broke his ankle as the hunting party was making its way home. He tripped over a tree root. He made it home because he won't be able to walk for many weeks. Everyone is happy he is home. Tonight we sat around the fire, ate, and told stories by Zachary Jepson.
That's cute. Oops.
Now here is Bianca Bushing with Far From Home. far from India, a small village in India, there was a little girl named Kyra. She's 9 years old and in 3rd grade, but she looks much younger because of her size. Kyra is an only child. Her mother, Mona, wanted Kyra to have a good education. Now she only has one day of school a week. So one day her mother decided to sell all they had to get money to be able to give her daughter a better education she needed. Within the next month or so, they were on their way to the United States where they start their new lives. When Kyra and her mother got to their new apartment they were renting, they thought it was huge, bigger than they thought they used to live in. They went to bed right away because of their long flight to the USA. So when her mom went to bed, she could not fall asleep. She was worried that she made a big mistake on moving to a new country. She was worried it was not going to work and they would end up with no money and no house or food. She thought about that all night long. When they woke up, they ate a big breakfast. After that, they had to walk to town because they didn't own a car. When they finally got to town, they didn't know where to go, so they asked so many people, but everyone was so rude. They just ignored them and kept doing what they were doing. Finally, they found someone to help direct them to a store that sold clothes. They'd never been shopping, so they had to get a lot of help, but it was hard because most of the time the nice people that worked there, they couldn't understand their accent. But they eventually gave up and tried themselves. They found some clothes and bought them and got out of the people waiting. The next day was school for Kyra. She was so excited she got up and took a shower, brushed her hair and teeth, and got ready to go to school. When she got to school, she had reading, math, lunch, then recess. When she got out of the classroom door, she looked around. The only thing she really seen was hopscotch. She went over and watched for a while, then got the nerve to ask, "Can I play with you?" The girl she asked turned around and looked Kyra straight in the eyes and said, "No, go away." Kyra went home, ran to her room without supper, and never played hopscotch again. Next is Zach's day of school with his one-edged couple.
It's always one stall. It's always one stall. I was not on the fish tank and both fish tanks. I'd ride a spider to school, climb on a pillow and think it's one edges, go into a wormhole and think it's a cave, sleep on a piece of lint, jump on jello for a trampoline. I don't think it would be very nice to be on a stall. Not at all.
Now he was cooperated with Sam I Am versus Techniques.
Because of a bad connection, disconnect. Press 1.
My pocket is dialing.
Something knocked on Chuck Norris's door. He went over and opened it to find a yellow midget in a funny hat. He seemed to be holding some green eggs and something that looked like ham. The yellow midget soon said, "You want some green eggs and ham?" "Why do I want to eat something that's green?" asked Chuck Norris. "Because I am Sam, and Sam Chuck Norris looked at him very confused and said, "Okay, listen, knock it off with a rhyme. I don't want to eat that because it's probably food poisoning, so I'm not eating it." Before he could shut the door, the midget said, "But I am Sam, and you'll eat these green eggs." The midget pounced at Chuck, clinging to his shoulders, and tried to stuff it into his mouth. Chuck grabbed him, threw him off his shoulders, and threw him out his window. All that was left in the house was Chuck and that plate of green eggs and ham, which was on the floor. "I might as well try this," he said. He picked up the plate and took a bite. "This is delicious."
Next is Lil Riondo with the play. I was watching Susan and me. There once was a boy too. His name was Leon. He was alive in 1894. He had a wife and 2 kids, 2 boys and 1 girl. He lived in what is now known as Minnesota. He was a hyena. A hyena is an employee who was older one children in the workplace. Leon is 28 years old and is 5 feet tall. He lives with Indians in a village. Leon married his wife and had children, so he would be accepted into the tribe. Other members of the tribe would be more likely to trade with him. It is winter in Minnesota. It is cold and there is a lot of snow on the ground. The days are short, nights are long. It is good weather for trapping. Leon is standing outside his longhouse waiting for one of the trout to strike up a trail. He sees Paulo, a young Ojibwe male, carrying towards him with a bale of pelts slung over his back.